What up? Salute. It's your boy Coach White checking in with you. I pray that all is well in your world, that you and your families are doing well. Hope that you guys had a great uh, Mother's Day weekend. I must admit that Mother's Day is a tough day for your boy. So, shout out to those who have lost the queens of their lives, their first queens. I feel you for sure. But nevertheless, um, I hope that um, you guys are working through the healing process for those who um, have challenges like myself during that day. And I hope that you have found a reason to smile like me. All right. So, first things first, Facebook salute, YouTube salute, salute. Got some good news for you guys, but let TikTok in the building. TikTok, what up? What up? Always let you guys in the building last. I need to switch it up sometimes and let you in the building first. It's your boy Coach White. Um, yeah, man, I got some good news for you guys. And by the way, sorry I missed you guys on Sunday, but I kind of already explained why Sunday wasn't good for me. So I did not have host Bible study on Sunday, but I am, if the Lord wills, looking forward to having a study this upcoming Sunday. Let me hold on one second, guys. Let me brighten this up a little bit. Okay, it's a little better. All right, my apologies. There we go. So, here's the good news. Let's go to the announcements, man. And for those of you all who are following me on TikTok, unfortunately, you will not be able to see the presentation, but you can always venture over to my YouTube channel at Darrell White, and you can see the presentation there. And I feel phenomenal, by the way. Shout out to my brother from the same mother who will be on momentarily, prayerfully. Um, he put me on with intermittent fasting, y'all. And I feel phenomenal. I think before I started the intermittent fast, I was anywhere from 171 to 173. Now I'm 161 to 163. And I feel great. Feel great. Um, and just to shed a little bit on what I'm doing in case you guys are on a similar journey. Um, I don't have a meal until after 7. Um, Throughout the day, I have my coffee at some point in the morning. I drink water all day throughout the day. Got my coconut water for hydration, electrolytes. So I drink water throughout the day. Um, and only a liter, 1.5 liters. Uh, Now I do have trail mix, so do the trail mix. Um, but I don't eat that until I get closer to the 7 o'clock hour because some nights I may just be okay with a smoothie, trail mix, and coconut water. Um, so I get the just a you know commercial break. I get the trail mix and eat that a little closer to the 7 o'clock hour. And then I have my smoothie as well. closer to the 7 o'clock hour. And then I have a meal after 7, and I don't eat again until after 7 the next day. And I feel great. I feel really great. So shout out to Jamal White who put me on with an intermittent fasting and the coconut water. My brother, if you know him, he's been on this journey for some time, and yeah, I'm not getting any younger, even though I feel young. So yeah, here he is. Let me bring this good brother on. Add to stream. Good brother, good brother.
What's
I
up,
just
bro?
spoke you up, champ.
What's good? What's good?
Let me turn your volume up. I was giving you flowers, man, because I was telling the people I was having a commercial break. You put me on with the coconut water for hydration and electrolytes. You put me on with an intermittent fasting, and I was just telling the people what I was doing, and I feel great, man.
Good, bro.
Great. I feel real light. Yeah.
Feel, feel real
So
good, real light in your feet, real good, right?
yeah, man. So thank you for putting me on. And I will say before we get into the announcements of the day, I found another gear in my long distance run that I didn't have before. Um, so yeah, I'm you know, I think I was running probably a casual uh eight eight and 8.5 minute mile.
Uh huh.
I might be at 7.5 now. Yeah.
Seven
So
and a half, eight. That's still.
yeah. I
You feel
think,
me? 7 minute miles, you know. Yeah, man.
hey,
Yeah,
I tell a
that's nice.
story about when I was shout out to my ultra trail runners. It's been a while. I'm gonna do one in a couple weeks. I tell a story about, man, just and this the last one I did was 15 miles, and I tell a story about these guys who were passing me that looked like they were late 60s, early 70s, and I said, man, listen, I gotta do something different. I gotta do something different, man. It's something about being on a trail and seeing the elders pass you that just does something to you, man. Like, yeah, I gotta get myself together, man.
Think
I
about
gotta,
life.
yeah,
Life hits you real quick. You like, yo,
yeah. Look, I even had
still,
an elder. I had an elder that came back to me because at this point, again, I wasn't hydrated, so I started cramping up on the trail, and it was, I mean, these hills were high enough to reach out and touch. I had an elder come back to me, man. He said, "Look," he said, "I'm gonna give you a couple things. It's gonna carry you." He said, "I'm gonna give you some pickle juice, and I'm gonna give you an aspirin, because if not, you're not gonna make it." Because I was locked up. Sure enough, he gave me that pickle juice. I took it to the head, popped the aspirin, I was on my way. But yeah,
people
it's
just
something about those elders on that course, man. I said, nah,
can't,
nah.
can't.
And here's the funny part, right? Before we get into this, I know we got 24 minutes. The funny part is, I remember passing those elders when I started, and then I start locking up. Here they come, man. That's it.
What's that like? The tortoise in the hare, right?
Yes, absolutely, man. So and they're more mature runners, more experienced, so they have a pace that they're comfortable with keeping the whole run. Me, I was kind of new at it, man. So lesson learned, man. But thank you, man, for putting me on this journey. I was already on a journey, but this is a different street on the same journey, and I'm very grateful for you, brother.
Yeah, same, bro.
Yeah, sure. How was your week?
Man, everything cool, man. Vi, they out of town, so
Yeah,
I just been living la vida loca, man. Just chilling,
yeah, nice,
just
nice.
getting things in order. Yeah, that's it. But it was been busy helping my man move some stuff. Then we gotta do a floor, so
Okay,
it's been cool, bro.
nice,
Been
nice.
cool.
All right, man. Let's get into this. I'm gonna minimize my screen. Put you in the corner real quick. Let me go over a couple of these announcements real quick. So again, if you follow me on YouTube, if you follow me on TikTok, if you follow me on IG, Facebook, and if we're not connected on these other platforms, please connect with me. I have two YouTube channels: the Gallery That Tells Your Story channel, which has all of the events that I host. Then I have Darrell White on YouTube, where you can see this presentation today. You can also catch the Bible studies that I host every Sunday from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we are walking through the book of Hebrews. We are on chapter 9. This is a verse by verse study, and we are on at around verse 27. So we're about to close out the chapter. All right. So on Facebook, I'm at Darrell White. On TikTok, I'm at Darrell Dr. White. IG, I'm at Darrell Dr. White as well. If you are in the Baltimore metropolitan area, we have a playground challenge this weekend for youth 17 and under. We have a lot of fun out there. We exercise, we do an obstacle course, we play a little tag, we do a little community service. If you are interested in signing your youth up, please send me a direct message so that I can send you the liability forms and the agenda. But we're on for this Saturday from 10 to 12:30 p.m. Also, you guys know we have books for sale. So we have 50 Shades of She. Shout out to my wife. 50 Shades of She. Really dope poetic novel. We have I Do, I Did, and It Didn't. That's also available on Amazon and Kindle, where I had the opportunity to complete that project with some really dope authors. Uh, then we have Ada's Journey. That's where my excitement comes in. We have The Invisible Marriage. Pardon me. We have Forsaking All Others, Aiden and Nicole. And now we have, what I tell y'all, we have Intersections. Yes, the book is out right now. We had another really good time. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to 50. Shout out to my man Dax. We did a collaboration, and I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. Let me share my screen so you know what you are looking for when you go to Amazon. Go to screen. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Y'all like that cover? Intersection, stories of pain turned into purpose. I like the little street signs. You have Providence, you have redemption, you have restoration, you have reconciliation. Yeah, man, check it out, man. The paperback is $16.99. It's a pretty long book, and you can get it on Kindle, unlimited for free, or you can buy it from Kindle for $6.99, man. So very, very excited, man, to get that out, and I have more books coming. More books coming. So I just wanted you guys to put your eyes on that. Intersections. All right. So yeah, check it out. Grab it on Kindle. Grab it on Amazon. And if you're in the Baltimore area, I will have some hard copies signed for you guys to check out as well. Very, very excited about that. Still selling memberships for my coaching packages. I have 2 annual membership packages for a reasonable price. Your first 30 days free. So if you're interested in being coached, and I coach from the 3 pillars, both Jamar and I, conflict resolution, CPS, conflict resolution, problem solving, and overall self-improvement. All right. Let's get into this today because we are running close to time. Let's go over the quote of the day real quick. Here we go. Let me see if I can expand this food. This will make it too big. Hold on. Let me see if I can do this. No, it won't let me. That should be good enough. Here's a quote of the day. The quote of the day is, love without safety isn't love, it's survival. Love without safety isn't love, it's survival. One more time for the people in the back. Love without safety isn't love, it's survival. That's the quote of the day. All right, I'm going to take you guys, we're going to be talking about emotional safety in relationships. Let me share my screen again. I'm going to show you guys a little illustration here. Am I the right one? Here it is. Check this out. Can I expand this? Let me expand this. Hopefully it's not that big, not too big. Click plus for that. Can I minimize it a little bit? Okay, anyway. So what you see here, let me close this out. Let me try this one more time. Let me try to expand it. Oh, they got the magnifying glass. Yeah, I should be able to take it down. Okay, it's a little better. Dang, didn't want to do that. One more time, hold on. All right, here we go. Emotional safety in a relationship looks like. And then you have this illustration, right? One thing says, feeling that you can share, be vulnerable. There we go. All right. Feeling that you can share, be vulnerable without being judged. That's what emotional safety in a relationship looks like. Then it has here, validation of others' perspectives, emotions, even if we don't agree. Validation of others' perspective and emotions, even if we don't agree. That's what emotional safety in a relationship looks like. Also, we have accountability, apologizing for hurtful behaviors and repairing. That is what emotional safety in a relationship looks like. Then we have physiological ease, not feeling flooded, anxious in their presence. That's what emotional safety in a relationship looks like. Boundary, retribution. That's what emotional safety in a relationship looks like. And then we have tackling of difficult conversations, mutual trust, best interests at heart. And that is what emotional safety in a relationship is supposed to look like. My question to you is, do you have that? Do you have emotional safety in your relationship? I just gave you examples of what that should look like. Let's check out this article. This is called Emotional Safety, What It Is and Why It's Important, by Dr. Helene Brenner and licensed clinical social worker Larry Latique. Emotional safety, what it is and why it's important. I won't go over this entire article, but let's skim through this here. There's a section in this article that speaks to the evolutionary roots of emotional safety. Let's check this out. Why is emotional safety so important? Because it's based on a need that's even more elemental, which is physical safety. For every creature on earth, the prime directive is safety. Food and procreation are important, but survival tops the list. And survival is rarely easy. To survive in an environment full of things that can kill you, you need a very well-tuned system for staying safe. Notwithstanding your reckless 18-year-old nephew and his friends, survival with his concomitant need to maintain safety is still our most powerful instinct. I'm going to add that to my vocabulary bank. Why does this have to do with emotional safety? When human beings are among the most defenseless and vulnerable creatures on the planet, we have no claws, no sharp teeth, no quills, and we can't even run very fast. For the first 12 years of our life, and even more so for the first 6, we can barely protect and take care of ourselves at all. They go on to say we evolved one primary way to stay safe: staying physically close and connected to a group of other human beings. It's easy to forget this in our modern world, where we can live as alone as cats and still be safe and get our physical needs met. Pardon me. But this modern way of living is not what we're designed for. For 99.98% of the time, Homo sapiens has been on this planet, living apart and disconnected from others, simply wasn't possible. To stay connected and work together for such long periods of time, usually in the past, for one's entire life, humans needed to develop a way to maintain such a close-knit system and to know when it wasn't working. That system, the thermostat for keeping the whole thing going and keeping us alive and safe, was our emotions. And it still is. Our emotions: love, anger, fear, sadness, happiness, shame, and disgust are the coins we exchange to hold each other close or to tell each other when something has gone wrong to break the connection. All right? Emotional safety for us then is tied to physical survival itself. It's very, very real and very, very deeply woven into our nature. So then there's a section of this article that speaks to what happens when you feel emotionally safe. When you feel emotionally safe with someone, your heart rate and respiration goes down and even synchronize with the other person's. Perspiration, a sign of stress, is reduced. The muscles in your body relax. You're likely to express more of your thoughts and feelings, both positive and negative. Since emotional safety is a feeling, if you have it with someone, you know what it feels like. George feels it most when his little brother Tom, 2 years younger than him. He can go fishing with Tom and barely say a word for hours but still feel totally at peace. Tom was the one person other than his wife that George turned to when his son was in the hospital and Tom came through for him. Emotional safety with at least one person, and preferably with a group of others, is what you need to feel okay in your own skin and to venture out into the new and the unknown. So then he goes into, or they go into, the impact of a lack of emotional safety. Listen to this. If emotional safety comes from feeling loved and accepted for being who you are and feeling that the way you feel, feeling emotionally unsafe comes from its opposite. Are you with me? Feeling that either the people who matter most to you or those whom you most depend upon for survival consider the real you and the expression of your true needs and feelings unacceptable, unlovable, even contemptible. It comes from being emotionally attacked, belittled, or simply ignored. Lack of emotional safety can also come from simple lack of physical touch and comfort, especially when it's ignored or withheld and the need for it is denied. When you don't feel emotionally safe, they say, you feel emotionally threatened, which causes the same bodily reactions, listen to this, as feeling physically threatened. You freeze, you hold your breath and tense your body. Alternatively, you may go into attack mode or you may shut down. Brain studies have shown that social rejection activates the same pain centers in the brain as getting physically injured. Are you hearing this? To your brain, physical and emotional pain are practically the same thing. And if you can't get back fairly quickly to feeling safe and accepted, you're essentially living a state similar to constant physical threat. I hope that makes sense. Life is full of experiences like this, past and present. It could have happened at a previous job or in the one you're currently in or in currently. It could have happened in school at the mercy of bullies or means of girls. It could happen in an abusive relationship. Or you could have felt emotionally unsafe all through your childhood. These experiences leave psychic scars, most commonly in the form of emotional reactions that try to protect you from from ever feeling that kind of pain again, or from ever risking being attacked or shunned. And then he goes into the need to build more emotional safety. But the root of this problem isn't personal, it's cultural. Over and over, we get the message that we shouldn't need anyone, that heroes and successful people go it alone. We've privatized all emotional needs for safety, connection, and belonging to the smallest circle possible, spouses and children with their parents and grandparents. That's too big a burden for such a small circle. When it fails, as it frequently does, there's no commonly available emotional safety net. This is a really good article. So I'll close with this. They go on to say, in your own life, the first step to building more emotional safety is to realize that you and everyone around you, including men like George, need it more than you or they think. And emotional safety comes when we treat each other with care. It doesn't mean never expressing anger or never, for many of us, though not all, playfully teasing. It's about creating homes and communities where our true human experiences and all their beauty, joy, and tragedy are freely spoken and lovingly welcomed, honored, held, and embraced. It's about respecting the vulnerability of your own heart, your partner's heart, and indeed every human heart. Emotional safety. Highlight something for you guys to journal, and I'm gonna bring Brody up to give some wisdom. I want to go over this section where he says, or where they say, you like to express more of your feeling positive, simple feeling. Have it with someone you know what it feels like. Then they give the example. If emotional safety comes from feeling love, I'm gonna highlight this section here. If emotional safety comes from feeling loved and accepted for being who you are, and feeling that you, the way you feel, feeling emotionally unsafe comes from its opposite. Feeling that either the people who matter most to you or those whom you most depend upon for survival consider the real you and the expression of your true needs and feelings unacceptable, unlovable, even contemptible. It comes from being emotionally attacked, belittled, or simply ignored. Lack of emotional safety can also come from simple lack of physical touch and comfort, especially when it's ignored or withheld and the need for it is denied. I'm going to copy that section. I'm going to put it on the chalkboard under where I have, do you feel emotionally unsafe? Let me make sure I'm still sharing. Okay. Let me stop sharing for a second. All right. Let me put this up here. Let me go to the chalkboard. I'm going to copy this section here. For your journal, this is part 2. This is a continuation of last week, and we'll close out in a few. Do you feel emotionally unsafe in your current relationship? So from the article, and I'm showing you guys a way that you could structure your journals. I just copied this portion here. These are notes from the article, right? If emotional safety comes from feeling loved and accepted for being who you are and feeling that the way you feel, feeling emotionally unsafe comes from its opposite. So for your journal, I'm going to put my journal. Let's go with, I want you to do some introspection, but I also want you to do some reflection. Who are the people in your life that have, let me simplify this. I want you to identify this for your journal, the people, because this is deep rooted, right? Emotional safety or lack thereof is deep rooted. Identify the people from your childhood that made you feel let's go with expression of true feelings and expression of your true needs. That let's say neglected your needs. Identify the people who have neglected your needs, made you feel unaccepted, unlovable, or I'll just put and or unlovable. All right. So you're going to, in your journals, you're going to identify the people from your childhood that neglected your needs. And let's go with, for the sake of context, emotional needs. We're going to close in a minute. Made you feel unaccepted and or unloved. Identify, also identify those from your childhood who attacked you emotionally. Which could have included bullying, belittling, or simply ignoring. Also identify those from your childhood who attacked you emotionally, which could have included bullying, belittling, or simply ignoring. Let me scroll down a little bit. I'm just reading. Lack of emotional safety can also come from simple lack of physical touch and comfort, especially when it's ignored or withheld. I meet a lot of clients who tell me that they didn't really hear "I love you" from their parents too often. Surprisingly, I've had some clients that said that their mothers didn't express that to them too often at all. Which, when I initially heard it, was pretty shocking to me, because usually the moms contribute to, your emotional foundation. All right, so in your journals, we're going to close out and bring Brody up to give some wisdom. In your journals, you're going to consider: do you feel emotionally safe in your current relationship? I gave you some information from an article. We had a quote of the day, and we had a little diagram that we discussed as well. All right. If you guys want any of these references, you can send me a DM and I'll forward it to you as well. Or you can go back and replay this on my YouTube channel and take some notes. So before we close out, for your journal, You're going to identify the people from your childhood that neglected your emotional needs, that made you feel unaccepted or even unloved. And you're also going to identify those from your childhood who attacked you emotionally, which could have included bullying, belittling, or simply ignoring. And then we'll have a part 3 next week, Lord willing, so we can add some building blocks to some of these journal assignments that we have identified. All right. So again, from the article, I'll close with this. If emotional safety comes from feeling loved and accepted for being who you are and feeling the way you feel, then feeling emotionally unsafe comes from its opposite. All right. All right. Let me stop sharing. Come on, Brody, give us some wisdom, man. Let me bring you up. Let me make sure your volume is up. Let me expand my screen for you. Give us some wisdom, Brody. What you thinking?
Hold on, cat. My fault, bro. Cat.
Yeah,
You cat?
yeah, here.
Um, Talking about love. What we think? So I would say people must remember love is an action verb. So love is more deeper than a feeling. You know. So you have to be the love you seek. The love you out. The love that you seek, you must be that first. Or you will just meet you every
Yeah.
time. So and like it's a quote. It said, "A man doesn't who
You're
mistreat."
breaking up a little bit, bro.
You know,
Yeah.
it said,
You
"Man,
said we have to be the love that we seek.
yeah, gotta be it first." Um, and I wanted to say only a man. Anybody that can mistreat a person that loves him doesn't love himself. So if you're in that
Anybody that can treat a person,
mistreats, so it's a man who mistreats a woman who loves him doesn't love himself.
gotcha.
So
Yeah.
do that with male or female. I think that's love, self-love comes in play. You have to recognize that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, in a relationship, it depends, you know, I know it's pillars to certain things, but yeah, in a situation where you're being mistreated, or you're not being treated well, you must
Yeah.
always yourself, you know,
Yes, sir.
um, use your discernment to see, all right, are you being that love? Are you loving the person they need to be loved? A lot of times we love the person the way we want to be loved, and that's not how it's going. Not how
Yeah.
it goes, you know. We
True
love some
that.
way they need to be loved.
That's fair.
So,
And I like what you said. I like what you said when you said if we don't love the people that love us, we don't love ourselves.
or they say we
Or if
mistreat.
we mistreat
Yeah,
the people that love us, then we don't love ourselves.
yeah.
Like that. Yeah, appreciate that, man. Definitely. Thank you, good brother.
Always, bro.
Yeah, no problem. All right. We about to get up out of here. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Lord willing, we see you guys next Wednesday from 8 to 8:30. We are here. And if you're enjoying the Bible study, we're back on Sunday, 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great day on purpose. Salute. All right, Facebook. We